right, so what's going on, family? We're going to talk about this article, this post on Reddit. Trump is saying the U.S. and China are actively, they got that in quotes, discussing tariffs. Beijing says that's fake news. One of the biggest proponents of fake news, it is getting thrown right back in his face. Beijing's like, look, bro, that's fake. We ain't talking to Trump. We're not actively trying to discuss the tariffs. Rather than us actively trying to discuss, we're throwing the ball back over the net whenever Trump comes in and increase tariffs. And we're like, what's next? China right now is sitting in some type of room discussing their plans for the next 6 months, 6 years, 60 years, 600 years. While Trump is probably on a golf course trying to hit a golf ball on the 9th hole. So think about which side of the fence you are on in terms of your relationship with these two governments. Think about it. And which team would you want to be on? Would you want to be on the team that look like they're more prepared, that they are strategizing how this is going to play out? Or would you rather be on the team that looks unprepared? They're not ready for what's about to come. They're going to be caught lopsided and will fall. Which team do you want to be on? Let's look at this article right here. Before I do, hey guys, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe to get my opinion as to some of the top news of the day, whether it's in the economy, stocks, money, whatever the case may be. We're going to see what these people on Reddit is commenting about and kind of drop our reaction to see what's actually popping off in the world. So look at this right here. This article was written from ABC News. Trump says the U.S. and China are actively discussing tariffs. Global concern is growing. Amid a U.S.-China standoff over high tariff levels that amount to a mutual trade embargo between the world's two largest economies. Yep, here we go. Let me go ahead and look at this. Hong Kong on Thursday directly contradicted Trump's claims that Beijing and Washington are actively discussing resolutions to a trade war that threatens to upend the global economy. This is ridiculous. Like, when you see Trump trying to pull in the country that he initiated this war with, that man is lying. He's dropping fake news. This tariff war did not have to happen. Like, let's pull this back in the front and let's be truthful. This thing never had to happen until that man on the bottom right of the screen that you guys can see opened his mouth and started putting tariffs on everybody. And now he wants to kind of make it seem as if these two biggest economies of the world are trying to talk to one another. So now Trump is trying to come for a lifesaver to China. He's looking for a lifesaver. Hey guys, I know I caused this tariff thing between us, but can I lean on you all and say that we're trying to discuss this a resolution to this trade war? Can I say that to the people? Because I don't want to look like an ass out here in the media, in the world. Because I know I'm the one that started this trade war. That's my fault. I'm sorry for that. But I need to act like that I know what I'm doing. You know, I wrote the book, The Art of the Deal. You know, I have so many businesses, even though they went bankrupt. So I need to show the world like I know what we're doing, like I know what I'm doing. So can I just kind of, throw your name in there and say we've been discussing a resolution to the trade war? Sounds like, look, bro, no, we ain't talking. You started this. You came throwing rocks at us, and we're going to throw rocks back at you. And now you want to act like we're actively discussing. And China said, look, that's fake news. That ain't real. While Trump said Wednesday that the world's two largest economies are actively talking, a Chinese foreign ministry spokesperson responded that China and the U.S. have not engaged in any consultations or negotiations regarding tariffs, let alone reached an agreement. Like, they ain't even talking to each other yet. Trump's been picking up the phone, trying to call Beijing, trying to call Xi Jinping, and he's getting nobody there to pick up. Nobody trying to come in and pick up the phone on China's end because they ain't trying to talk to Trump. They're not going to be looking like a fool in the world, on the world stage, with Trump trying to control the narrative. They see how Trump acts. Trump will say one thing, then he'll turn around the next day and renege on that thing he just said and have you looking foolish. So China is definitely in no hurry to come in and try to create a resolution to this trade war that Trump started. Trump is going to have to figure this out on his own. And the way that he's going to do it is by completely pulling back on the tariffs. Because he's the one that has placed himself in this position. Nobody else did. So he cannot be upset if the other end of the party doesn't pick up the phone and try to say, can we create some type of deal? He can't be mad at nobody but himself. He should have created an environment that was conducive for an amicable way to negotiate a trade deal. But as you can see, he didn't do that. He shot first. And now he wants to create some type of environment to where these two biggest economies of the world can sit down and negotiate. China's like, look, bro, you're not going to trick me. You're not going to fool me. I know you. You was already in office on the first term. And you're not showing yourself as being honest, truthful, as somebody that we want to do business with. You have something that we can get from other nations on the planet, while we have something that you can't get from other places on the planet. The spokesperson, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that, made the comments at a briefing in Beijing, saying that reports of ongoing talks were false. He added that while China is open to negotiation, if it's a fight, we will fight to the end. Boom. And I think that's what Trump wants. Trump wants to fight, and China's ready to fight. So all of us in this world is going to be impacted by the fight of these two governments, period. And if Trump wants to eliminate how deep this war is going to go, he's going to have to pull it back. At 145%, Trump's tariffs are higher on China than any other country. Now, how stupid is that? You want to ratchet up 145% tariffs on one of the biggest economies to which you get your stuff from. Like, make it make sense. The math ain't mathing. You should not have increased the tariffs on majority of the things that Americans get comes from China. You should not have increased it 145%. Because now your citizens, the American citizen, is going to see some impacts. And until they see their refrigerators, their pantries, their cabinets, the store shelves, once they become empty, then pressure is going to mount on Trump. And he's going to have to make a move. Either he's going to stand 10 toes down and go to war with China, or he's going to fall back and pull it all the way back to tariffs, because of the people of America is going to be knocking on this man's door, on Trump's door. Like, look, you need to fix this because I can't feed my children. I can't feed my family. I don't have any baby food, any formula. I don't have any supplies to sustain my family. More and more people are going to be upset with Trump. And China's just going to kick back and watch the show. As he ratcheted up tariffs on Chinese goods in recent weeks, citing unfair trade practices, Beijing has responded in kind, bringing its total tariffs on U.S. goods to 125%, levels that amount to a mutual trade embargo. Crazy, isn't it? Look at that. This is a trade embargo, meaning that product ain't going to be shipped from both countries. These ports are just going to be simply empty. These shipping containers, it's going to be empty because you have priced out people from buying your goods. Way to go, Trump. The prospect has raised fears of a global recession, sending markets whipsawing as trade tensions have done the same. Relations briefly appeared to improve Wednesday as the Trump administration signaled that it was discussing reducing tariffs on China. Like, that's so stupid. That's so asinine. It doesn't make sense. You started the increase in tariffs. Now you want to discuss reducing it? Like, some things just need to be left alone. The moment that you riled up or woke up the lion, now you want to kind of say, oh, cool, pull back, y'all. Hold up. Maybe we need to try to reduce these tariffs. That again shows you that there wasn't no plan. There was no strategy. Trump only got as far as that board that he did on the White House lawn showing how much increase in tariffs he's going to put on the countries. That's how far he went. He didn't see anything outside of that. He didn't see what reaction these other countries would do in kind, especially China. Let's look at some of these comments and then we'll be finished. Trump lied. I'm shocked. Exactly. I don't think nobody's shocked. Nobody. No way. No. How could he do something like that? It must have been those woke communists and Democrats who want to destroy the U.S. economy. That is true. I mean, when Biden was in office, he wasn't out there starting a war with China in trade. 100 days in, Trump's in office, and now he's destroying the U.S. economy. The stock market went down. I mean, call a spade a spade. Let's look at the next comment. So the very reason the stock market rebounded was based upon blatant falsehoods, manipulation, and baseless expects from a lackey. This is some banana Republican shit right here. Next one. If Trump is talking, he's lying. I mean, which side do you want to believe? The one who initiated the terror war and now he's acting like it's a good thing that he started the terror war, but in a sense, you can see the actual actions that's been going on. He's been trying to pull back on the tariffs. Somebody responded, it's a wild moment where we can't believe the CCP over the U.S. president. I mean, when you destroy your credibility and trust on the world stage, somebody has to come out with the truth. And I don't think people is believing that Trump is telling the truth anymore. People are getting their information outside of what Trump is saying, what he's tweeting, and they try to go around because they don't see Trump as being truthful and honest. And I mean, I ask you all the question, do you think Trump is being truthful? Given everything that you've seen this man do you think this man is truthful? Would you want to be working aside a man who is lopsided in his mentality? He says one thing one day and then turns around and regurgitates or act like he didn't say it and say that things are better than what they actually are. Next comment. Trump is technically correct. Trump said, China, call us. China said, nope. Trump said, we may lower some tariffs. China said, F off. So that is technically an active discussion. That's not active at all. That's a dead discussion. China is giving Trump like a girl who ain't trying to be bothered by a dude that she don't like. China is acting like Trump has cooties, acting like Trump is contagious, and they don't want to have nothing to do with him right now. So once the situation in America becomes dire enough and Trump begins to get hit in his own house, then he'll come in and say, we're going to have to do something different. We're going to have to pull back these tariffs on China. Next comment. Trump and his cabinet are actively discussing who is to blame for China not calling. Chinese officials are actively discussing how to accelerate their plans to replace the dollar in global trade. This situation is analogous to Austin Powers and Austin Powers' Man of Mystery when he states $1 million. Trump and his advisors, cabinet, etc. seem to think that is 1960 and the rest of the world is reliant on the U.S. That is exactly right. Trump thinks that people have to come to America because it thinks that America is the world power. And this is a real life situation being played out. As you can see, these countries ain't coming bending to America like they did in the 60s. The only thing that is keeping America attached to these other countries is the dollar. That's it. And every day that we see go on, every month that pass, every year that pass, these nations are going to get further and further away from the dollar. That's exactly what's going on. The Chinese people, the other countries that's seeing how Trump is acting towards them, they are going to come up with a plan B if they haven't done it already. And it's going to take some time. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen in the next year, 2 years or so, but it's going to happen, especially in the next 4 years as we have Trump controlling the United States economy. Next comment. If any other American president said that discussions with China were going well and the Chinese government denied it, I would trust the American president. Unfortunately, when you elect a man who can't seem to get through a thought without lying about something, then you probably won't trust that president. Next comment. China really rattled Trump. Stand up to the bullies, people. I like China's response. Just ignore Trump. That is going to be a problem. Think about it. When you ignore a bully, or when you show the individual that's trying to bully you that they are not affecting you, that is going to make the bully go even crazier. That's going to show the bully that he isn't the bully that he thought he was. And that is how Trump is going to be seen. The world is going to be seen that Trump ain't as big and bad as he wanted to perceive himself as. Because these other nations, since Trump first came in office, they became prepared. They ran plans. They got scenarios to say, look, what if Trump get back in office a second time? Okay, cool. Let's run scenarios. Then let's get prepared. That is what these countries are doing. That's where we're at today. Trump is being shown that he isn't as bad as he think he is. Look at this next comment. Now I'll let you all go. Just like the U.S. and Russia agreed to peace, and then moments after Russia bombed Ukraine, like America, supposedly they're trying to broker a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia, right? And as you guys seen that debacle that Trump and Zelensky had in the office, it doesn't look like America is in position to broker a peace deal. This is crazy. Which ally is America? Are they allies for Russia? Are they going to be allies for Ukraine? Who knows? As you got Trump sitting in office, that shows that you cannot be dependent on America, especially for Ukraine. Like when Biden was in office, Ukraine kind of felt like they can be dependent on America. Like America was giving them billions of dollars of weapons and equipment to fight against Russia. Biden leaves office. Trump comes in. Now they want to cut off the money that America was giving to Ukraine. Now it seems like Trump is vying for Russia. Trump is telling Ukraine, look, you're not going to win this war. It's just completely flipped. And Ukraine is like, I can't not depend on America. I don't know why I thought I could depend on America to help me fight against Russia, because they're not showing themselves as a very strong ally right now. So now for you and I, if we can see these scenarios of situation, we need to create our lifestyle a way to where we can be dependent on the governments. We need to be self-sustaining, self-governed, because in the time of our need, when we need a government to come and support us, to come and protect us, given what actions have already taken place, you got to think to yourself, can I really rely upon it? Give me your thoughts. Make sure you maintain profit. And as always, trade different.